Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the guy with a really weird soundtrack to score his film, Carl Charles, and
I was gonna say I thought I liked the soundtrack. Anyways, and I am the man in black, CY Chong.
yes, and today we're going to be talking about the latest installment in the DCEU, maybe, Black Adam.
Yes. So yeah, non-spoilers.
Non-spoilers.
What you didn't like? Were you not liking the soundtrack
No,
or
no.
what was it?
The soundtrack was good,
Yeah.
but a lot of it I was like, how does this fit with the film?
You know what? I thought it gave me the vibes of where you got the Magneto theme, right? In
Yeah.
X-Men Third Class, where it's the tweener theme because
Yeah,
it could go both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got from here. It had the big beats, right?
Hmm.
Of them low drums, but then it could rise up or could go down. It could go Darth Vader,
Yeah,
or it could
yeah.
go Rocky, for example. I think the music was good in that sense.
Yeah, like the score was good, but like when they used like I want to say pop songs.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I was
It
like,
was like,
what?
and that one sequence where they used a film score, not
Yeah.
their film score, another film score, and I was like, this is comedy, but kind of not in the tone of this movie.
Yeah. But
But I quite like this. It moved at a fast pace,
yeah,
and it seemed to start at a certain point in the day, and then it was still that same kind of point in the day when it finished.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was like okay, here's all the meat, right, and it's gonna go straight down your throat. Essentially.
wait.
I don't mean it that way.
Now you put it this way, that
Yeah.
all happened in one day.
Not even. I think it was like still daytime.
Wow.
Oh no. So by the time they get to a certain location, right?
Yeah.
It starts at night. Well, you could even it starts at night for one thing, but once the film actually gets going,
Hmm.
it's all day. It seems like it just happens in a matter of hours.
Wow.
I wouldn't say it happened in real time because there's like little bits and pieces, but it is relative to real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Now you said that,
But
really.
that's what I'm saying. The pace is hectic, which I enjoyed, right?
Yeah.
And it was really non-stop, and it's just like, okay, we're gonna pause for little character beats to explain stuff and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna go with the action because that's what you want to see. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. That is indeed what I came to pay for, so I ain't gonna gripe with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes some things didn't make sense, right? Oh, you could say some things didn't make sense, or this, that, or the other, but really, as far as the character goes, what he does is consistent, and the lessons he learns is consistent. I will say some of the other characters. You like they're introduced in this movie, and you're like, wait a minute, shouldn't there be more of them? But you can only put so much, I guess.
Yeah.
Other introductory characters in a movie like this when it's not based on them.
Yeah.
Oh, I do question some of the choices of the team, considering the threat level.
Yeah.
So I mean, when we get a bit further in, we'll just have to come up with a headcanon exactly why
these
they
people
decided.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I did like that Hawkman wasn't as abrasive as normal standard Hawkman from the comics or from even Legends of Tomorrow, stuff like that.
Yeah, they made him
Hawkman.
more sort of likable.
Well, I'd say he's got beef, but it's not so. I'll fight everyone.
Yeah, it's saying
It's just like, okay, right, like I got issues with you, and you, yeah.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like normal Hawkman would have just shouted at everyone.
Yeah.
And then he would have probably got knocked across the screen by the enemy, and then say it was that person's fault who was shouted at because they distracted him again. Hawkman, you were shouting at someone when you should be shouting at someone in the middle of a fight. You got hit. Shut up.
This one he seemed more like. I kind of in my head was like, okay, he has his many lives and he's sort of like grown and mellowed out rather than being.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like he's actually come off quite more of a leader type to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Though I mean, it's not in the comics. I don't know how much you know about Hawkman and Doctor Fate in the comics, right?
Hmm.
But I do believe, like you're saying, if we're gonna say Hawkman has his reincarnation powers, yeah,
Yeah,
which we might not have, right?
Hmm.
And it would have been fun if they referenced it, but I think that's going to be too much because Hawkman's a bit convoluted himself, right? In the comics.
Yeah. A bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine,
Trying
like
to
there was a
explain.
Hawkman, there was a Carter Hall way back in the day
Yeah.
that came across Black Adam, way back in the Teth Adam back in the day,
Yeah.
Aladdin something. Anyways, one of Carter Hall's sons, I think Ken Nelson is Carter Hall's son or grandson or something like that
Wait,
of
what?
one of his reincarnations.
Really?
Yeah, in the comics, yeah. Because I was like,
Oh,
all right,
sure.
okay,
Okay. Wow.
yeah,
Oh. Okay, I did not know that. I wish I
I
didn't.
don't know
Yeah.
which version of which though, because there's different Carter Halls and
Yeah,
there's different people that have been Doctor Fate. So
yeah.
but
Oh.
yeah, I like the people that were casting. I think they did well as the
Yeah.
Justice Society.
Yeah.
As per what they were paid to play in some ways,
Yeah.
because you don't get character depth for a couple of these. They're just there to be a bit. I don't want to say flashy,
Kind of
but they're
like,
just
I wouldn't say cannon fodder either, but yeah, they're just sort
yeah,
of their placeholder sort of person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. They're kind of like, well, I'm here to do stuff, yeah, but I don't have I'm part of the story, but I don't have a story within the story.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, and I liked Sarah Shanti as Adrena.
Yeah, I really liked
Who
her. Yeah.
is she? Is this the one? Is this in the comics? Is this the lady that becomes Isis?
I
Because
was thinking the same because I swear her son's name is
Ammon, yeah,
Ammon, and that's who becomes Osiris, isn't it?
yeah. Obviously, I'm not saying in the comic because it's different. But I think is it her son in the comics or is it her? Are they sister and brother in the comics?
I think no, the comics are sister and brother. Yeah.
I don't mind that they tweaked it though. I mean,
neither
to be
do I.
fair though, she could have she could have been. I don't know. They're saying she's the mother, right?
Yeah.
But I could have brought her as older sister. Like,
Same,
she's like
same. But like
13 years older, or her, 15 years older than the kid.
Yeah.
Okay, I could buy that.
But like you said, it doesn't really make a difference, like how they've done it. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I some of the jokes I was like, I don't know about that. Right.
Yeah, some of the jokes felt kind of flat. Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, I think okay. Now we're gonna get to the acting of my boy The Rock. Yeah, what? And you're half boy, maybe.
No, he's my boy. He's my boy. Like I said, I love him. I watch every film he's in. But yeah.
Okay. So what? Okay, what do you say about his acting in this?
What acting?
Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, fine. Right. I will praise some, and you can then give me the counterpoint to that. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. I thought he played the regalness of Black Adam pretty well, actually. Like, it's the authoritative tone of his voice that gives it that, he's not joking about. He's not being Hollywood Rock or being Nation Rock or anything like that. He's delivering his lines as straight as possible.
Yeah.
Not like no comedic moments, but
No.
like,
He's
trying to he's trying to add depth to his character. Like a bit of I'm a man out of this world, or like but he's not joking about as you would expect Rock to be.
Yeah.
In some of the Rock films, and I wouldn't say necessarily he has vulnerability or anything like that, but because Black Adam's the powers of Black Adam, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't come across like, all right, I'm gonna play the Rock in this film. Okay, give me your counterpoint.
No, like I get what you mean. He doesn't, but like, I don't think I felt like Rock. Well, I can't remember Rock. Like, I couldn't really sympathize with the character or anything like because he didn't like. I don't think he put any emotion in it or something. Like, it was just like, oh, I'm this guy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I would say there's a couple of points where I was like, I get why I get the character. I get why he does this, right?
Yeah.
There's certain other points where he's doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's doing Black Adam stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I get why Black Adam would do that, right? and sometimes he's doing stuff, and you're like, oof, I don't know if other characters would do that, but okay, fair enough. I buy Black Adam doing this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And there's stuff, but I never was like, I know I see him and he's the Rock, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But I think he toned down his rockness to play enough where it's like, okay, I'm this character, not the Rock playing as this character.
But how, for me, like how he delivered the lines and stuff,
Yeah.
it felt like he was, for example, with this, I don't think he's actually done it. Like someone's reading, like the opening package for like a WrestleMania where they got like someone reading something.
Yeah.
That's how he sounded to me.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay. Just he's promoting a historic thing. That's how that's what kind of came off to me. I was like, oh, okay.
What is it? But isn't he promoting the freedom of Kandak?
No. No.
All right, I tried to twist it. To make it work. Oh no, first of all, I want to say I enjoyed. I like The Rock here. I thought it tells like he toned down the rockiness. He played up Black Adamness, and he does stuff that I would say that I see Black Adam doing in the comics when he does in the film.
Yeah, I can see that, but my thing with Black Adam in this film, they watered him down so much.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
I have no problem.
We have to get to that later. But I was expecting a bit in the. I don't know how. I don't know if you read how many versions of the Black Adam history you've read, right?
Yeah.
Because there's the first time he came back. There's the pre-crisis, the post-crisis, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Different versions, yeah. And I was like, okay, I wonder if they're going to use any of these, which they kind of do and they kind of don't for some. They tweak it, yeah, and like you say, they tone it down.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, well, some of the stuff he does is real bad, right? Actually.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna give him a sympathetic backstory, you kind of have to not do that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that at that point, right?
Yeah,
because I don't want to say spoiling the comics, but then we have to explain something in the movie itself.
Yeah.
To get to that point.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Okay. Anything? So you enjoyed all the action, I guess.
Yeah, the action was cool. The fight scenes were good.
I will say there's a couple of dodgy green screen bits here and there. Yeah, not necessarily dodgy, but it's like they're clearly against it. Not that bring me out of it, but I was like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
And some of the CG at the end fight, the specific being at the end fight.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think his face was more detailed than his body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it didn't look quite the same. Considering you have an actual version of The Rock with, actual physical human.
Yeah, it was a bit weird,
Yeah. But as far as showing people's powers and stuff, I thought they did pretty well.
Yeah.
On their showboating sections, right? When you need to show all the powers and all that, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a couple of bits over and there, you're like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. The kid I could have done without, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, all right. So, yes and no, because he does play a key part in the story to relay something back to the character, right?
Yeah.
So, and not as if I don't think the kid himself did a bad job, right?
No, it's just how he was written. This is how he's written.
Well, no, yeah. Well, he was more of a tool rather than a character.
Yeah,
that's the best way I could put it. Yeah, there's there's a bit where he just at the beginning, right? He's the opening narration.
Yeah,
it's happening, and then after that is like, okay, so that was just an info dump. Is that what you're telling me? He was just there to throw the information at the viewer to catch them up on exactly what's going on with what, right?
Yeah.
But it's not connected to anything. It's not as if he was sitting down reading it to someone, or he was telling you something. It was just like, boom, here it is, and then we're gonna move on to something else. I'm like, I get why they did it, obviously, but I don't like it when they do it that is not connected to part of the story. What I'm saying is, it's like, okay, he's just telling the audience. That's all he's telling it to the people that are watching the film. It's not. It's like it's breaking the fourth wall sort of thing.
Yeah.
I would like to they integrated it into the movie somewhat. So when they move on, it's like okay, naturally he's just maybe reading a text out loud, and that relays that information of the story to the people.
Yeah, totally. But it was a bit.
Yeah. But I would actually, I would watch this again.
Yeah, I'll watch it again.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, because well, I will say this, right? If Zack Snyder directed this film, I'd be like, all right, yeah, 100%, because this is the stuff. I feel like this is the type of film that is his film.
Yeah. I can see this, as his
and
film.
not in a negative way. But
no,
like,
I mean,
how he did Man of Steel. I mean, Superman story, Man of Steel is kind of like, all right, we want all the action. I'm going to try to do some stuff with the character, but Superman's not the edgy type character that Zack Snyder wants, right?
Yeah.
So I will turn Superman into that character. No. Take a character like Black Adam or Jason Todd, right? Redhead. And then you can do what you want with them, or Deathstroke, right? And then you can do what you want with them, Zack Snyder, because they're more your style of character.
Yeah.
I it's kind of strange as well. It's like the amount of action in this film, it's quite a bit.
Yeah, man, it's doesn't really let up when it comes to actions, does it? Really?
No. It's just like, well, the dialogue's getting in the way of the action, right?
Yeah.
But we have to have a story. So yeah, all right, fair enough.
But I would say with this film, like from what I got from it, they are not too sure what kind of message they're trying to put out there when it comes to Black Adam. Okay,
as in you mean when you say the writers, or are you saying within the film the character himself?
Within the film, and even the writers, it kind of comes off like, to me, you want this guy to be a superhero, but then he does evil things, but then you're like, but it's okay because he's a superhero, we think.
Oh, okay. No. Here's my logic, right? He's the character that's from way back in the past, right? So you go with them warrior ways because that's as far as they play the past, right?
Yeah.
As far as most movies seem to play people from that era as well. Because if you're a gladiator back in the in the Latin times, right? And then you come to normal times. Oh, you'll be like, okay, I'm here to go and fight people in I'm gonna challenge someone to a fight and fight them in a gladiatorial way, and then death is honor or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Who knows actually whether in the past they did that, but anyways, right?
Yeah.
So I go the logic they presented in the past to continue on to the future. It works, right? But then it's like, but your logic then does not work with how our logic is, however many thousands of years in the future. So you gotta adapt.
Yeah.
And that's the way I could put it. It's like, okay. He's trying to learn in a very short amount of time exactly what's allowed in this world and what isn't. Well, he's not even trying to learn. It's just like that's what the kid helps him with.
Yeah, well, the kid tries to, but then they encourage him every time he does something bad. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it doesn't make...
Well, no. I wouldn't say necessarily they encourage him.
Well, right? They didn't pull him up on it. Like, okay.
Yeah. It's just like, well, circumstances are... Okay. Right. No, I'm going to defend it, right? But I'm going to apply the logic, right?
All right.
When Jack Bauer fights terrorists,
Yep.
He's the guy in the right, yeah. But when he tortures terrorists, all of a sudden he's wrong, even though he's trying to stop people from dying.
Yeah.
Right? Because he has to get the information from the terrorists.
Yeah.
And not to say torturing terrorists actually works, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the fine line between, for example, something like that Batman would and wouldn't do.
Yeah.
I mean, Batman would apply the threat and never follow and implicate that he'd follow up through it, right?
Yeah.
Like dropping people down the building,
and
then lining them back up.
Yeah.
Black Adam, he delivers the threat, and then he's going to make a show of power.
Yeah.
In the comics, right? And when he shows power, obviously the other guy's gonna crap him like the leftover hostage or the leftover, not the hostage, the leftover person that he's threatening is clearly should be dropping the information because they just seen what happens, you know?
Yeah. But like, I don't know. It's just...
I mean, like some characters like Superman shouldn't be doing this.
No.
Black Adam, yeah, okay. You know what? I kind of expect Namor to do it as well. I don't know necessarily whether how they're going to do him in Wakanda Forever, right? But I do hope they do that. They run that kind of between the line. He'll probably have the same arc-ish as Black Adam, where he starts off a bit more hardcore and then be like, yeah, okay, probably this is not the way to go.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you would say, I mean, you'd watch it again.
I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
I'll watch it again.
I don't know, you know, whether because some films don't hold up when you watch it again, right? But let's put it this way, right? I'm here for the action, and the action is pretty good.
Yeah, action's great.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z style action, would you say?
Nah, I wouldn't say that much.
Would you say that the Infighting Man of Steel was Dragon Ball Z style action?
I wouldn't even say that was Dragon Ball Z action because Dragon Ball Z fights and stuff. Obviously, they do like the like super fast things because obviously they can't animate it. You know what I mean? So that's why they sort of get around it. But yeah, it was good.
Okay, cool. All right, on to the spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the opening narration 5,000 years ago. The kids, like I said, like they go back into the past, and it's getting narrated by the main kid in the movie, and like, right,
sure,
well, yeah. But he's talking about Kandak, how the king basically trying to make the crown of Sabak. You know who Sabak is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bad guy from Shazam, well, Captain Marvel in the comics. Yeah.
And he's, I think
he's like the anti-Shazam?
Yeah. And the person who makes the anti-Shazam, the people that make it are the twin sons, son and daughter of Shazam himself.
Oh, wow.
Something like that, I think.
Oh.
Right.
That's crazy.
But yeah, he's the anti-Shazam, not like Black Adam is the inverse of Captain Marvel Shazam, right?
Yeah.
He was just, Black Adam was just in the comics. He was a guy who got the powers and then he kind of went a bit...
Cuckoo.
You know,
yeah.
Well, no, seriously. It's just like, well, I got the power.
Right, he got the power, and power corrupted, and he became on the fence, basically.
Yeah. Probably at the end of this, hopefully we don't forget. We should go through some Black Adam history, and then I'll ask you a couple of things, right?
All right.
Yeah. So you got the narration of the guy who's making the crowns back, so he can have the like devil Shazam powers, right? And and he's forcing the people to dig for the Eternium.
Yeah.
Magic crystal, like the unobtainium from Avatar, right? That sort of stuff.
As soon as that came up, I laughed. I was like, and carried on.
Yeah. And what was it? So one of the old grandpas, all the slaves that you see digging up for the Eternium, right?
Yeah.
And then the one old grandpa finds the Eternium and he goes, Eternium, or whatever it says in the language, but he does say Eternium. And then the one dude next to him says, what'd you find? He goes, nothing. He's hiding against himself. Like, dude, you basically just got a loincloth on. All of you are covered in like that white dusty chalk stuff.
Yeah.
This is glowing blue, right?
It's going to be obvious, dude. Yeah.
yeah. You got to be fair, though, like, there's a reward for finding it, yeah?
Yeah.
So if someone else sees it often, they get a reward. But the other thing is like, blatantly you found something because you whispered, like, just stick it down your loincloth, right? Who's going to search you there, you know?
No one.
Exactly. And then you go to the guard and say, yo, I found this stuff. When you get to reach in his trunks, and you get the guard like, shut up and kills him right away because, you know, if someone they say, oh yeah, I found this, and they reach in their trunks. Anyways. Okay. So he finds the Eternium. All the people try to swarm him to grab it off him. Look, young boy. You want to say 13?
Say about, being third. Yeah, he was a teenager. Like, he was a young teenager, so I would say 13. Yeah, around that. Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing, all you people, right? Attacking the old geezer for your old Eternium. Look who we're all fighting against. We don't turn against each other.
Yeah, we should be helping each other out.
Yeah. And then but then it's like, okay, so right. Here's the logic, right? So now you take the man to the guard who's going to reward him for the Eternium, yeah? To
Yeah.
give to the king, yeah? But it's like, wait a minute. Why are you giving this item to the king to give him powers?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a bit silly.
But, at the same time, I guess it's more like, well, what else we're going to do? He's already in control. We just try to live our lives as best we can as slaves. We're getting a couple of rewards or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that at this point they know their fate, right?
Yeah.
Just not make it worse upon ourselves.
No.
Yeah.
Be cool.
So
guys.
the young boy is here's the guard. Like old man, here's the guard. You get a reward, yeah. And the guard just basically takes down the Eternium off the old man, and the old man's like, "What about my reward?" Because it was near a crater, I thought it was like,
Yeah.
I thought the guard was like, "Here's your reward."
Here's your reward, dude.
Yeah, Sparta kicks him down the crater, but no, he just stabs him right instead, and just leaves him dying. The little kid's like, "Okay, I did not see this betrayal coming at all. What?" And then, so the guard's like, "Well, you want some reward as well, right? You want some reward?"
Yeah, boy's like, nah, I'm alright.
No, but he's like, "No, but you killed that guy." And then he's like, "Whoa, so you're saying you want some reward, right? I'll give you some reward."
Yeah.
And then the boy's father comes in there, saves him. Boy's father, shrouded in the like his face all covered in shadows, as though he's Batman, right?
Yeah.
He's like, nah, son, like, nah, don't.
It's not worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, forgive me, my guard. My son spoke out of turn. And then the son's like to the dad, "Look, what's happening? What's happening here? Look, we've been enslaved and stuff like that. Look, you can't the king. You can't be trusted. We're gonna have to just, do what we can with the life that we have. We got nothing, essentially."
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, and then obviously the boy's like, "Nah, I'm gonna. This ain't the way to go, right? I'm gonna hold my hands up like DDP."
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, first of all, it's not like he's holding the diamond cutter sign for no reason though, because there's that is the triangle, the triple triangle symbol
Is it?
of their flag or something like that. I'm not sure but there was something.
Okay, there was meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't asked for the diamond cutter.
Cause thing was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no.
I thought it was
on
that,
the
and then I thought it was the Jay-Z Rockefeller thing. I was like, wait, I'm so confused. Why is this? It looks cool, but I don't get it. But yeah, makes sense.
So
now.
that's it's the triangle when you hold your fingers and your thumbs together.
Yeah.
But there's three of them on something.
It's probably their flag.
Maybe a flag, or I can't remember what it was, but there was definitely it was a symbol, right?
Yeah.
And so they truss up the child, and they're like, "We're gonna make an example of him."
Yeah.
He's trying to lead a revolt against the king.
Yeah. Like, oh wow.
So when they go to slice off his head, he gets in a puff of smoke, Nightcrawler style.
Yeah.
He gets teleported to the Rock of Eternity, where you see Damon Shansu back from as being Shazam from back in the the film,
which makes this connect in a way. Oh no.
Yeah. And you see the wizards empower the kid.
Yeah.
He says Shazam. He turns into he actually turns into have you seen Young Rock?
Yeah, I've seen Young Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, the when he's like entering the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He turns into that guy.
Is that him?
Well, you don't see his face, but I saw it afterwards. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's him.
Oh crap! Okay.
He turns, Rocky Maivia Rock.
That makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I wish I just basically spoiled something, right? Anyways.
No. You spoiled nothing.
No, but, so he turns into Teth Adam. Okay.
Yeah.
And he rocks up to the king's palace while the running over, slow-mo running over to give the king the back crown.
Yeah.
And Teth Adam's just like, well, if this crap, let's blow ourselves up then, I guess.
Yeah.
No. Well, it was like basically we're gonna have a fight to the death in here, and cause all sorts of whatnot.
Yeah.
And then basically trapped in the palace, like wherever the magical, like basically they get buried underneath the rubble for X amount of years, right?
Yeah.
Or some sort of magical whatever it is, because it's two magical beings fighting, right? As far as they know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So That kid then finishes the narration, and then he goes to the present day where he's skateboarding. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Okay,
like, sure.
yeah. I mean, I was like, logically, couldn't you have him reading a book or reading some sort of text, and then like, oh shoot, I'm gonna go, and then he goes to go off the skateboard. Because then it ties into why he's talking.
Yeah,
Anyways, so yeah, Kadak is suppressed by Intergang. They're just trying to. They got all these right. So back in the day, the thing was just being dug by people. Yeah. Now they got high tech machinery and glowing blue lights and all that stuff. And like, all right,
sure.
I guess I'm not sure how much. I mean, I don't know if you want to say, okay, let's make our things so blatant that when satellites are up there, they can see exactly what's going on.
Yeah, which is a bit.
You know, when we fly past Kadak on our planes, we're going to see these massive drill bits with them red and blue lights and white lights and all that stuff. Like it's a party going on there, but it's actually, digging the lands and you know, all right, or what? Which is then he's like, wait a minute, so you're blatant. So what's happening with the? So you just invaded the country, tried to take all their stuff.
Yeah.
And no one's doing anything about it.
No. That's why this film's a bit weird. When it comes to certain bits of it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to it where they try to kind of not brush on the cup. They try to give some explanation.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we go to Ariana Tomaz.
Yeah.
Sarah Shanti. She's trying to find the crown of Sabak.
Before this though, we're introduced to her brother and their other sort of friends that don't last long. She's trying to sneak into the city because she's got to hide because Intergang are looking to arrest her because she's sort of got a rebellion going, kind of.
Well, she's wanted.
Yeah.
For reasons we'll have to further explain later on.
Yeah.
Okay. So the kid's on the skateboard and he's like, the guards are hustling the truck, the van that she's in, hidden in.
Yeah.
And I like this bit, by the way, because it started off looking like it was random. So the kid's trying to get past the border. Intergang's like, nah, and he's like, what do you mean? I've got a skateboard.
Yeah, he goes,
I should be able to get past it. Like, yeah. And he's like, no, if it's got wheels, it's a vehicle. You go to the back, right? Obviously, he's meant to be a dick, and he does come across like the kid's like, come on, man, you're a bicycle, whatever. No, you're just gonna make them line up the cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, so this. He grabs the guy's. Was it Walkman? Oh, he just goes past.
Yeah, he just skates off and like, oh.
Yeah.
And then allows them to sort of like, can we go? And like, because he's more concerned about the kid. The guy's like, yeah, we'll go, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then when she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna try and find the crown. She's giving the audience what's going on and where they're going.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna try and find the crown of Sabak at this location, blah blah blah. And then the skateboarder kid bumps into the van and says, "Hey sister," oh no, "Hey mother." For some reason, I thought it was gonna say "Hey sister," right?
Yeah.
But like, "Hey mother, yeah, did I do good?" He goes, "Yeah, you did good," but he goes, "I can help you guys," and he goes, "Nah, that's too dangerous for you. You need to go back to the house, essentially."
Yeah. She's like,
yeah, and he's like, "Okay, fine, I'll do that." So then they go to. This is at nighttime, yeah, and by the time they arrive at like their location is like daytime-ish, early morning.
Yeah, because they're driving overnight, so yeah, it's about daytime-ish.
Yeah. So they go to the caves. They navigate some I'm going to say the caves to pyramids, whatever, right?
Yeah, pyramids. Well, the cave, the dig site. We say it's a dig site, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Archaeology site, whatever, right?
Yeah, whatever.
And then, so there's 3 of them in there. So the brother, he's staying with the van.
Yeah. Because
so there's yeah, there's Adriana, there's Karim, and some other guy, Ishmael, right?
Yeah.
No, Karim's the brother. Some other guy. Anyways, there's 3 of them that go in there.
Yeah.
And then later on, like as they go further in, one of them disappears.
Yeah.
Right. And she's like, all right, to the non-suspicious looking guy, right? Yeah, the guy's blatantly suspicious.
Yes.
Maybe it's because it's slick back hair. Anyway. Yeah. Well, the greasy look of him, right?
Yeah, it just doesn't look trustworthy.
Yeah. He's like, she's like, oh, what happened to the other guy? And he's like, oh, I think he went out to get some air. right? And then you see him flying out the cave,
Yeah.
breaking his back on the landing,
Yeah.
shocking Kareem, right? Shocking the brother, right? But it's like, all right. So, oh, you didn't just blatantly throw this guy out of the cave, whatever.
Yeah.
Not that obviously, yeah, it depends on how far it is because shouldn't she hear him screaming?
Then it
But
depends. That's another weird thing they say it now. Depends on how far they were in the cave. But
I
then
will
how
say
did he was able to do that and then come back so quick?
no, I will say this. I would probably say there's some intergang people with like training them, and they
Yeah,
just got rid
probably.
of him.
Yeah.
Because the intergang then come in and like so when Ishmael comes out, sorry, Karim comes out of the car to look at the broken body of his friend.
Yeah.
Intergang come along and say, "Yep, who you? What are you doing here?" Blah blah blah. Obviously, you know what he's doing here, but they just gotta play it out, right?
Yeah.
So, then they ambush everyone in the like. So she sees the crown to back, right, floating. Okay, here's the thing, right? And also, it's the same in Guardians of the Galaxy 2014, right? So you got this relic that has all this power, whatever, right? And it's just there for people to conveniently find. Why is it not guarded by whatever?
But
you know?
they did. She did say that no one's. She kind of explains it by saying no one's got that far into the cave and they're nearly to it. That's why.
Okay, fair enough.
But like you're saying as well, though, like why didn't they just have someone waiting there the whole time, like outside the caves? Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you could say this, right? They had to do for this one for Guardians of the Galaxy. Why was the Infinity Gem just there in that location that Star could just dance his way to, right?
Yeah.
Forget that. Yeah. Here you could say they've got to stealthily get it, right? Between and not show Intergang the location of it. So they had to take a long time to do it, right? And they had to find it themselves, and then trying to find a way to try and get to it. Then find a way to get through, navigate through the stuff away from whatever traps or whatever they might be, you know.
Yeah.
And they have to do extra slow. And obviously they're going to try and hide away all the information from Intergang in the process. So however long it could take, it's going to take even longer than that. Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
Not that that's what they said, but all right, okay. We'll just apply a bit of,
Yeah. Filling in the blanks. Fit.
Yeah.
Just
she's reading in the description saying, to awaken Black Adam from his slumber, like Tef Adam, right?
Yeah.
Say the words, right?
Isn't that she does that when she gets caught? Because I think she's reading about
she reads the thing first. She don't read it out, right? But she's reading it. Because then like you said, later on. So when it's going to come in there and they start firing at everybody.
Yeah.
Because she jumps, grabs the crown. It's going to come in there with her brother. They start firing at everybody because that's villain's got to do what villain's going to do, right?
Yeah, villain's gonna villain.
Yeah, she runs over to where the inscription is, and then she says the magic word. All right, well, any last words? Yeah, and then she reads it out loud.
Yeah.
Because she read part of it, and then she read all of it, and then she's like say the magic words, and she says Shazam.
Yeah. Boom!
Lightning strikes. Black Adam appears. The Rock appears. Black Adam appears. By the way, I did like how they played it straight. She didn't say cartoonishly or something like that. She said like Shazam.
Yeah.
And I know it depends on how you say it and deliver it. Because in this Shazam film, they were delivering it in a way that it's like, okay, this is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek, jokey thing, right?
Yeah, but in the Shazam film, it was a kid, so you can kind of get away with
exactly.
it.
Here they're delivering like it's some mystical enchantation or something like that, you know? Well, not that seriously, but like the actors are taking it seriously.
Yeah.
So boom, he appears and floating, by the way, right?
Yeah.
And then villains also do what villains gotta do. Who are you? Were you here? And he's like,
no, he's not floating. He's down in a crouch position.
Yeah.
Then he gets up, and then they all point their guns at him and tell that one guy to go and check him.
Oh yeah.
And then he goes, "Who are you?" And then he just grabs him by the neck and does the lightning through his body, and he melts.
Yeah.
And then after that, he floats. Yeah.
Yeah, and they all decide, all right, well, we're just gonna waste our bullets shooting him.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, I'm gonna have to murder all of you.
Yeah. And he does.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, fair enough. I mean, to be fair to the character, right? As far as he knows, he just wakes up and then everyone's shooting at him.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to harm him, whether whatever they are doing to him will hurt him or not. They don't know, and he doesn't know, right?
No.
All he knows is they're being aggressive to him.
Yeah.
So,
got to defend
I've
myself.
got the power. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you power. You think you got power? Boom, right? And then, yeah. So that causes enough of a distraction for Adrena to get away with her brother, run out of the caves, while Rock is like, murdering everyone in the caves.
Yeah.
He comes out of the cave, right? He just blasts his way out of the cave, and then he's just met by helicopters, tanks, and all this stuff from Intergangs. Like,
yeah,
right, bitches, here we go, and he just murders them all as well.
Yeah,
I like it. He goes into a slow mo, right?
Yeah.
Where they start attacking him, right, and he just because he warps around at such super speed, he's like a Dragon Ball Z character.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just moving normal speed?
Yeah. Which was a bit weird to me, but it's weird.
No, but it like obviously that's the speed that he has, right?
Yeah.
When you say weird, how do you mean?
No, like it's well, I'll bring this up later on as well. Like I don't really think they know like Black Adam's powers that much in this film. Because, like, all right, he's fast, but he's not. That's something like the Flash would do, like,
slow
down speed.
I guess, okay. Now, I guess it depends on how fast we are going to have certain characters, yeah?
Yeah.
Comparable to each other.
Yeah.
Because if Superman's got super speed and he's as fast as the Flash, I think relative Shazam, Captain Marvel, Black Adam, their super speed is not quite that level, but fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be perceived at that level.
Yeah. But it's like, it kind of, in this film, they kind of pick and choose when it's that. And this is one of the moments.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but they also pick and choose in all like films with super.
Yeah,
super
they
speed.
do. Yeah.
Because, you're telling me that Superman in Man of Steel can move super speed, yet when he fights Zod at normal speed.
Yeah. It's a cliche.
Yeah, I'm just like it's not like we're picking on it.
No.
All I'm trying to defend. I'm just saying these are the moments you remember because they're like logically speaking, right?
Yeah.
But there's the bit where Wonder Woman's got a decent amount of super speed as well, and they're fighting Superman in Justice League. She just has to go from the distance from her wrist together, right? And he's all the way across there. 100 meters away, yeah, or more, yeah. And he somehow super speeds across then faster than she can do her speed to close her wrists.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, he could have just murdered. He could have just wasted all the Justice League with super speed.
Yeah.
Jesus, not at that point. So yeah. It's one of those things, like you're saying, even in the Flash TV series, somehow, how do you get a normal speed guy to be able to touch the Flash?
Yeah.
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 But like he's, okay. But I thought it was a cool scene.
It was a cool scene. It's really cool. That's cool.
But yes, when you start thinking about it too much, you're like, no. Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. But yeah, no, I ain't gonna go past it. That was a really good scene. It was a good scene. Loved it.
So yeah, they just waste them all. He sees the truck, like the van. He's like afloat down towards them, in front of them, and they're like, they stop because they see all of the destruction he's pulled, and they're like, I don't think we want to go too close to him, maybe.
Yeah.
So as soon as he starts walking towards them, they start winding up their windows, and I was like, all right. I know they played in the trailer, but it's kind of funny because they're like. It's not as if winding up your windows is going to protect you from this guy.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a funny beat.
It's a funny beat. And then
so then he's looking in the van at them. They're looking kind of trying not to look at him, trying to make they're not just trying to pretend that he's not there. Like if it was a lion or a bear trying to attack you, try not to look at them, right?
If you don't look at him, he'll disappear, sort of thing. Yeah.
And then the brother sees someone lining up a rocket behind it, like a rocket launcher behind the Black Adam.
Yeah.
And he points to that way, right? And Black Adam turns around. Super Speed grabs the rocket as it comes towards him. He looks at it, sees Eternium on it, because it's nice for bad guys to
label everything,
Exactly, label what ammunition they're using.
Yeah.
All right. It blows up. It scratches Black Adam a little bit with this blue kind of glow. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna waste you now, right?"
Yeah.
Blasts the guy with his lightning powers, disintegrates him, and then Black Adam's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna. I mean, where am I? I'm just gonna fly around. I'll be just wake up to the world, get attacked for no reason whatsoever. So let's see where I am and what's up, right?"
Yeah.
He flies up, and it just basically crashes down to Earth.
Yeah.
And then so the two in the car just run up to help him and find out what's the problem. Yeah. So he's then invulnerable, but he's also kind of vulnerable.
Yeah.
To that particular substance, whether you want to say it's his kryptonite or not.
Basically, yeah.
And I would say fair enough. They need to give him some vulnerability.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
But it's very similar to the lines of Superman-ish stuff, even though you could argue his powers are very similar to Superman as well. So I don't know how much you want to have the comparison. But then again, there's things way later on, after the film finishes, where I think it's probably a viable comparison that you need to have.
Yeah, to a certain degree. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they take him to their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's dreaming of his origins, isn't it? He's dreaming of his origins.
Well, he's dreaming patches and in and outs of his of Tef Adams' origins, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's the best way I can put it right now.
Yeah, it's the best way of putting it, yeah.
Okay. But in the meantime, and then you see the slimy greasy guy from earlier. He's like what the intergang soldiers are kind of on the floor dying, and he's like he takes a walkie-talkie and they ask for an update. He's like, "Yeah, your soldiers weren't meant to cause all these problems, right?
Yeah.
We're going to get the crown and stuff like that." So they're like, and then he's like, "Well, they caused all this mess. I'm in the game with you guys, but you're soldiers, man. You got to calm down."
Yeah.
So when he hangs up the walkie-talkie, he shoots the soldier he took off the walkie-talkie. He shoots him dead. And then you get like Amanda Waller talking to Carter Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay,
cool.
yeah, fair enough. And she's like, "Yeah, we got a little bit of a problem in Kandak.
Yeah.
If you can get your gang together, the Justice Society, and we try to quell this problem." I'm like, Amanda Waller, right? First of all, as far as the continuity of she's concerned, the DCEU, she's got her fingers in all sorts of dirty pies, right? But masquerading as she's
good.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
technically, she is and she isn't. She's that thin blue line between both. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So as far as relaying all this information, they're like, Intergang's probably like, Amanda Waller, this Black Adam is causing us problems, right?
Yeah.
Can you get someone to solve it? And she's like, yeah. And now I'm gonna flip my government official hat on.
Yep.
And get the people on the other side of the equation to deal with your stuff for you. So, I'm the best tweener there is.
Yeah, pretty much.
She calls Carter Hall in his X-Men mansion or something like that, right?
Because that's the vibe I got. That's the vibe
there's a lot of X-Men stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you want to say Carter Hall's rich or whatever, right? But I'm getting the vibes of, I don't mind mansion, yeah? Fair enough. It's like, Dr. Fate, Pierce Brosnan, Ken Nelson.
Yeah.
My buddy. And they do come across as they've been in the team together for quite a while.
Yeah, they do.
Then you get Cyclone and Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher's grandfather, who's the Fonz. Oh, was his uncle?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's the Fonz. And I'm like, all right, fair enough.
I was like, that's random, but I like it.
Yeah. And he's like, don't damage the suit.
Yeah, it's vintage.
I would say, I would say the Atom Smasher suit looks too well done, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It looks too
It looks too. He said it's vintage, but it looks too modern aged.
yeah.
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 It's like it's a bit buffed up, right? And I'm looking
Yeah.
at the actor. I'm not saying whether he works out or not. He could be decent athletic body type, right?
Hmm.
But I looked more muscular than he was.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does,
Uh,
doesn't it? Yeah.
yeah. And then I could see like there's a lot of comparisons of what Deadpool looks like mask wise,
Yeah.
and Aston Smash. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's because the eyes express as well, and it's like
Yeah.
you don't need to do that. You didn't need to do that. You could have tweaked a couple of things to make it not.
Nah, I
No,
don't know.
I know
I
they
think it would have looked the way it did it. It kind of looked better because it was just like a bland sort of like clothy mask without
yeah.
the animated
I
eyes.
think that what they
become,
went to do was try. I mean, I think they should have tried to avoid comparisons realistically.
But because he's the comedy relief character, really,
Yeah,
you sort
that's
of
probably
need it.
why. Yeah, I think that, but that's why also there's even more comparisons. You know, one or the other, but both together, you're like, hmm. But I mean, I didn't. Characters are characters, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine by me. I'm just saying as well that some people were saying Doctor Fate's a copy of Doctor Strange as far as power's concerned. Here, I'm like, Doctor Fate's been around longer than Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and their
But
powers
they
are
just
quite different. You know what I mean?
and they just have some similar abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's why why they also how Namor is in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
He's not the king of Atlantis. He's like the tribal leader of some other underwater realm,
Yeah, some
right?
Aztecian cult or something like that. Not a cult, but yeah, some yeah.
And I don't mind it. Is it like a Mexican name or something like that, right?
Yeah.
A Mexican looking name, anyways.
Yeah.
Like it's fair enough, right?
Yeah.
Aztec looking name, if you want to put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Because they're trying to avoid directly saying, okay, well, this is Aquaman ripoff.
Yeah, because
Even though
they are kind of the same again, but they're not at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
So yeah, I would say that, like to the casual audience, you probably want to avoid that sort of stuff. But it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
I don't mind the character.
No, neither do I.
But yeah, it's like okay. So she's like, oh, who's your team then? Carter Hall, Hawkman, who, you know?
Yeah.
For some reason, she's like, they're like, she's like, I know all your identities, and we seem to have worked together before, so casual. I'm like, this woman, the part of the government, knows everything.
Yeah, that's her
working
job.
with villains and working with heroes aside, because you probably don't know, probably don't know both sides of working with her, right?
Wait, what?
Like the villains and the heroes, right?
Yeah. Well, she technically doesn't really work with villains. She just takes villains and put them in a Suicide Squad.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, because she's not actively like going, "Hey, Joker, we need you to do this." No, she's like the rich.
Oh, okay. I suppose she's more Black Ops than
Yeah.
Right. Which is kind of Which is I mean, fair enough, right? And then sometimes she's in the dark side, but she's also in the light side. As in, she'll do some wet work stuff that eliminates people, right? But she keeps that separate from. Oh, I'm gonna get the Justice Society over here, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, so who's your team? And he's like, well, Dr. Fate, who I've worked with a long time, and he's like ye old, so he has the powers of this and that and the other. And I'm like, right, fair enough. I'm gonna get Cyclone and Atom Smasher, right? Atom Smasher's the grandson. Oh no, sorry, the uncle, right?
Yeah, nephew of the original.
All right, and then Cyclone's, some young looking kid, right?
Yeah, who is the granddaughter of the Red Tornado, apparently. Yeah.
But as far as like, how old do you think the character is? Like the girl playing Cyclone, I thought she was kind of young looking.
Well, they showed her date of birth. She was born in 1997, so she's about 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she could have passed in like for her really early 20s, 20ish or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna get. So Amanda Waller even calls them out and say you're gonna have 2 newbies on your team.
Yep.
What's that about?
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah. He's like
Less
trial by
drama.
fire. I guess it'd be a good opportunity to see what they whether they deserve to be on the
Yeah.
just side. And I'm like, wait a minute. All you know is that there's a dude that there's murdering people, like destroying other people, right? And causing an international incident, and you're gonna get two newbies to go. All right, Hawkman, your choices aren't the greatest, but not just the character, like not his team choices. His team choices for the mission, right?
Yeah.
Or would you prefer to be? Would you prefer to have more members of the JSA here?
Nah, because I think they're just being. You have that situation where there's like 4 people being focused on and just people in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, well, I will also say they could have given a reason why he couldn't. Like, I suppose then start getting a bit complicated. Why you can get other team members, but why would you get? Why would you get new team members to do this mission as well? That kind of is a bit dodgy as well. So, anyways, moving on from that. Well, maybe because Carl Hall knows that he wants to fight, right? As he does in the comics, right?
Yeah.
And he's just gonna get people that don't double guess him,
Yeah.
Because his solution is I'm gonna destroy this guy with my mace and then I ask his corpse questions, which he can't because he's dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So Adriana's reading the inscription on the crown. Life is the only way to death.
Good saying.
And then everyone's like, her brother's like, yeah, isn't that obvious?
Yeah. So it's like saying the sky's blue. It's kind of know that. Yeah.
So Black Adam wakes up in this room filled with all superhero posters and stuff like that. He blasts a picture of Superman, so you don't see Superman's face.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, like it was a drawing of Superman, by the way, from what Ivan Reyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But it would have been better, I think, funnier if it was a photo of Superman, right?
Yeah.
From one of the DCEU Supermans, like the Henry Cavill Superman. You just blast his face before you see him. Because that's when they're like, is he coming back? Is he not? Right? And at the end of Shazam where they show Superman, but they don't really show Superman.
Yeah.
So you could have nodded to that if they really wanted the joke.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's like, what's going on here? And the kid's like talking to him. Oh yeah, you've woken up. You could be the hero of Kandak. You're black. You're Tef Adam, right?
Yeah.
And The Rock somehow speaks to him in English with an American accent, but we're gonna say so. Gone.
You know what? I kind of allowed that.
Yeah.
Because it comes up in a scene later. I guess when he is in Black Adam form, he can speak every language because of the wisdom of whatever.
Yeah. The wisdom of that. That's what I was going to go for as well. I was going to say, now that you can say he has English with an American accent, or he should be speaking proper English, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Allow it. Yeah,
allow it. Yeah.
He's got the knowledge to be able to speak the languages because of that. The wisdom of the equivalent wisdom of Solomon, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so he's like, I'm gonna walk through a wall.
Yeah, because he doesn't know what doors are. Yeah, he just walks through walls. It's like, wow.
I see this wall over here that's closed off, and I'm just gonna go. Like there's a shape that looks like it's cut out the door, out of the wall, so I can walk through it. No, I'm gonna go walk through the actual wall itself. Okay.
Yeah. Like, dude, it's gonna cost me money.
And he walks through the wall, right? And then we see he is creaking because as he's walking, he's basically just pushing the couch with him in front of him, but with his legs, not like his hands that are pushing the couch. He's just like his actual weight of his legs just moving.
Yeah,
forward.
that was funny.
He's just brushing it along.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, you're the man in black. I mean, you should have a catchphrase and stuff like that. The kid's like following him down the stairs, but Black Adam's just floating down.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I've no place in this world and stuff like that. But I don't need to be your champion or whatever. I don't know what's going on. This is way different. Once he pops outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is not my world no more.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, no, Kandak needs you because you need to be. You're Tef Adam. You can save us from the oppressors, as back in the day, right? Yeah. And does he float over to? He's like looks up and he sees the Tef Adam statue.
Yeah.
Like the rummages, the leftover rub. Like it's been battered because of the years, right?
Yeah.
So you got sections that are kind of crumbling and whatnot. And he flies over to it, and so the kid then is like, yes, I'm gonna go and menace the guy that I was menacing before in Intergang from Intergang, right? Steal his walkie-talkie and say, oh, look, Tef Adam's back here, so Intergang, you better hide. He'll come and destroy you all.
Yeah.
Like he did, yeah, like he did to all our oppressors back in the day. And he goes to give the DDP sign
Yeah.
in the market.
Hoping that Black Adam will see him. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he sees the speck of Black Adam flying near the massive Tef Adam statue, and then the Intergang, the Intergang being Intergang, decide to charge the kid, right? Like a whole bunch of them, because that's what villains do apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, and they go to beat him up. He's like, "Oh, he will get you," and then they look up, and then Black Adam, the speck of Black Adam is no longer at the Tef Adam statue. And the kid's like, crap! It's because he's about to get his ass whipped, right?
Yeah. And this is why I was like, this is why the kid is the worst to me in this whole film.
What do you mean? Because
he's brought death upon so many people. You're like, wow.
Right. So I don't know. Did you ever see this bit in the trailer? This is the bit where the Intergang member decides to whip out his police baton, right? The collapsible baton.
Yeah.
And he's going to smack the kid. Tef Adam flies behind him. Well, Black Adam flies behind him, right?
Mm.
And the guy decides to, all right, I want to smash it. After my cohorts, right?
Yeah.
The rummages, yeah? I'm going to go and smack this guy in the head with the collapsible baton. It bends, right? And I think he goes to hit him again. And then it's a zoom out shot. You see this guy just flying like miles into the sky.
Yeah, no, because I haven't seen any trailers yet, so I didn't see this part. But
yeah,
it was kind of cool. It was cool.
Yeah, it was funny. And then, like you're saying, right, the Intergang all try to jump the rock again. Oh, this is the bit where. So just as he was waking up and he was the couch was in his way. The brother was watching on the TV a Western.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood one, right?
Yeah.
And they were doing the gunshot thing.
Yeah.
Where they're gonna pull the guns out and shoot
quick
it.
draw.
So, yeah. So when the guy quick draws, Rock then quick draws his own powers, and blasts the TV. Yeah. So later on when this scene happens, they have the Western music playing, which is like, okay, I'm not sure how that works with the tone of this movie, especially since the drum beats, the deep vibes going on.
Yeah, it felt kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, it felt comedy, but it was just off-key comedy here because it's like, wow, this is like turned into a different movie.
Yeah.
For this particular section, it's just like the same bit in Blade where when Wesley Snipes, he's Blade, and then when the cops shoot him in the hospital, he's like, "MF, do you know we're like? What?" He goes, "Drive turkey."
Yeah, that's how it was.
And then he snaps back to being Blade. All right, MF, you out of your mind? Anyways, yeah. So then he starts whipping all of them, right? Electrocuting all of them, like you said, right? I want to say it's the kid's fault, by the way. I know you kind of blame the kid for the amount of death that was caused by Black Adam saving him.
Yeah,
kind of. I don't want to say all these people deserve their deaths, yeah.
No,
but Black Adam, they're oppressing the country. They're being villains, right?
Yeah,
henchmen or whatever, right? Not exactly good henchmen. But Black Adam's from back in the time when that's what you did to people that are being, out of order. He's Judge Jury executioner style. So yes, fair enough. But then also I will say this as well. They're all set up to be cannon fodder.
Yeah, they are.
So
they're all nameless
Army
Yeah.
Grunt 2, 1, whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So you're like, fair enough if they got a backstory, and you're like, all right, well, Black Adam was out of order for killing them, yeah. But they're not. All they're giving is, all right, we're just gonna bully people. We're gonna bully people. We're gonna shoot people. We're just gonna be like yahoos, right?
Yeah.
So when we get our comeuppance, we deserve it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, Black Adam's like, all right, I'll take you all down, and then the JSA arrive, all seeing the people being victimized and beat up by Black Adam, right? Conveniently.
Yeah.
And they read the situation a little bit wrong. They're like, all right, so he's woken up. He's just battering everyone in his town. Let's go and stop him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't ask questions because, that's none of that, right?
No. Because, what is asking questions?
Exactly. Talk to my fists. Yeah, so Hawkman flies down there. He actually gets a decent showing, you know that?
Yeah, he does.
I feel like, with these certain other characters, I wouldn't say necessarily Black Adam's holding back, right? But he's not necessarily at full power in some ways.
I don't know. This is another thing. It's like another thing that's a problem with like superhero films in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they choose to have super strength or not, it's like how they kind of betray Black Adam. He wouldn't hold back, but then he does. You know what I mean? How he was fighting these people, and they're trying to say,
no, how he was fighting the Justice Society. You mean?
Yeah. It's like, okay, I guess, sure.
Yeah, they get a decent showing. I will say, Hawkman's armor, his nth metal armor, give him some good protection. Also, I mean, Black Adam didn't use the super speed to blitz him, so
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like they had a decent creative fight because they used the abilities of the JSA as well to hold back Black Adam and stuff like that. So
and
it's not like they were just running in there.
No.
When the Justice League were fighting Superman, they all come in there, decide to punch him and forget they had other powers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that happens.
Yeah. Here they're like, all right, well, we've got our different powers, and we're gonna have to try and do something that's works best for what we can do.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Then so Adriana gets the crown off the back that she was studying, obviously runs down to save her son.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think so Dr. Fate is trying to clear the area, and he's like he senses something, right? And he goes to he grabs her, and then he feels the crown of Sabak, right? Oh no, he sees her running away from the scene of the crime. Not the scene of the crime. She's running away, running towards. Was she running toward? She got her son and was running away from them, right?
I think it just because he saved them, right?
Yeah.
And then he started
to
run away.
That's right.
Yeah.
So and he tries to keep track of them, but then I think he grabs it and he goes, "Why have you got?" When he gets that flash forward of the crown to back, says, "Why do you have it?" Right?
Yeah.
And then he's got to choose between helping his teammates because Black Adam's starting to get the advantage over him, or interrogate the woman, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, damn, we've got to help my people not get killed, right?" Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah, but they have a decent scuffle where it's kind of like, I think, Black Adam he half gets away. He's half dealt enough damage that no, like it's not to a standstill, but he's just like, look, I'm just gonna go over here where I'm gonna go, and I'm like, this fight has been finished. This fight is finished for me.
Yeah.
So he goes to the palace, somehow still kind of half standing after 5,000 years.
Yeah, science.
Yeah. Exactly. Like the same with the statue of Tef Adam.
Yeah.
5,000 years later, whatever. But hey, Relic's
gonna relic.
Yeah. Well, relics are places where okay, it's an endangered relic or something like that. You know how you can't build over it? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
they
maybe.
They didn't point out, they didn't justify it, they didn't say nothing, right? But you're like, 5,000 years is a long time for something not to get knocked down.
Yeah. Especially in the world that they live in as well.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that Internet Gang will care.
No.
about a palace.
Yeah,
you know?
especially if they've been apparently in Kahndaq for like 27 years. I don't think they really care.
Unless they like, unless Intergang have taken, I'll be like, well, we need that Eternium, right? And we need to sit on the chair in the palace.
Yeah.
So we have to keep the palace the way it is.
Oh, maybe.
Right? Yeah. No, but that's what we find out later on, right? Yeah. But they don't say.
No.
All that we know is that this one guy who's the turncoat, this greasy turncoat, he might know some of this information and told Intergang, okay, you got. But then who's for that? But that's only for the past X amount of years, right?
Yeah.
The 4,000 plus years before that.
No one said anything. Yeah.
But he flies to the palace. JSA go to like Dr. Fate's like, this lady is sus. Dr. Fate goes to point out to Adriana to the Justice League, Justice Society, and says this lady is sus. They're like, give us the crown. She's like, no.
I don't have it.
They're like, well, hold on a second. No, Black Adam saved us, right? And he can save our country, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, no, you have to understand, right?
Yeah.
Your history and actual history.
Complete different things.
Yeah. Somehow they know more history than the actual archaeologists in their actual country, right?
Yeah.
And if Hawkman was white, right? If Hawkman was white,
different.
No, in the comic, this like because he's black here. I don't think Aldous Hodge does a good job, right?
He does a really good job, yeah.
Because he's black and he's telling her, right? It's not like it's some sort of like, oh, I'm the superior white man telling you about your own country, you know?
Yeah.
It would have been hilarious, but in the wrong ways to be. Anyways, he's like, you understand that Black Adam actually lost control of his power and destroyed the palace, right? He can contain himself, like, you know.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so you know when someone tells you something, you're like, I don't know if I believe you or not, because this is my belief.
Yeah. Even though it sounds legit, you're like,
Yeah. But then it could be legit the other way, you know, where you have to fight to the death of the, you know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, not to say that I have no foot to stand up, but you're less likely to believe of people that come to your country and didn't do it for this convenient moment while they didn't do anything for the 27 years while you were being invaded.
Yeah.
But there's enough string of truth there that like, right, okay, I'll hear you out, but doesn't mean I believe you.
Yeah. We'll
so they to give the crown back to the kid who takes it back home. The greasy dude is right, and he's like, so the kid Amon comes back and he sees his uncle.
Yeah.
And the uncle's like, oh yeah. Where you been, kid? We gotta go right now, right?
Yeah, we're going to find your mum. Yeah.
No, kid's like, Mum told me to come back here. And the greasy guy's like, where's the crown? And the uncle's like, the crown that you've carefully hidden elsewhere. Nudge, wink,
Wink,
right?
Yeah.
And the kid's like, no, Mum told me to take back here. They're like, uncle's like, in his head, I bet he's just face palming himself.
Like, oh, such a little now we're all dead because of you. Yeah.
So uncle gets shot. So the kid runs off and he tries to go to his secret hideaway in his room that I think it's a chest of drawers.
Yeah.
That he's built an escape route to go to the stairs.
Yeah.
And greasy dude can't. He's too big to get in there. So he's like, oh great. And he takes his mic out, his walkie-talkie, and he goes, find the kid. He's going to try and stealth away. He's probably in the hallway somewhere, but get him alive because he's the crown's with him.
Yeah.
So that's that. So kid in peril. Black. You know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, of course. Black Adam does his stuff.
Yeah. So in the palace, where Black Adam's looking at the Tef Adam statue, and Adriana and the Justice League, it brings the Justice League there, and they're like, "Well, Black Adam, you're gonna surrender right now, right?"
Yeah.
Hawkman says, you gotta turn back into, you gotta say the magic word, right? Because Amanda Waller somehow knows, by the way, that he's got to say the words Shazam to reverse his powers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna allow for this, right? So the people that she knows so they've seen Shazam, and they're a bunch of jabroni kids, as far as we know, the audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure at some point something happened, and Amanda would have worked out. Okay, so these kids say Shazam and then they turn into the Captain Marvel characters because what's a 10-year-old or 16-year-old and everything like? How are they going to know about all the surveillance around the world and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I could buy off screen that she somehow found out, and then she's like, all right, so these powers and his powers apply because of the history that we have.
Yeah.
We can match up, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Dwayne is saying, look, okay, you don't have to surrender, right? We don't have to fight these guys right now, okay? But you could be a hero of Kandak, and they don't have to bother you anymore, right? Because, you know, that's what we see you as.
Yeah.
And Hawkman's like, no, we're here to keep the international peace or something like that.
Well, help international something. I would say peace, but it still doesn't make no sense. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, and then she's like, yeah, but where were you when we were being oppressed?
Yeah.
Now we conveniently have somebody who can fight for us. That's when your government decides to intervene to stop this guy, right? But not to stop the people that were stealing our homes and our riches and all that stuff. No, you live in all that. You're leaving that stuff. No. So you want us to go back to the way we were, poor and taking the backhands from people that are higher above us in the pecking order.
Yeah.
Right, and then you're just gonna go home and leave us as peons. What's that about?
Yeah, she got him there. And you're like, well.
Yeah. To be fair to him though, and the JSA, they've been told a particular thing by a particular person, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on.
No.
100%, and they should be asking questions as well, right?
Yeah.
But as far as they are concerned, being given the correct information by the correct people that up the chain.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to say as well. Like other people should be interfering in other people's countries, considering in Batman vs Superman, they were like, Superman, you can't go unilaterally rescuing people around the world, or because you're an American citizen, right?
Yeah.
Because we have to answer for international borders and stuff like that. And yet somehow in this film they're like, well, we Americans are going to go to this country here.
Unless since that film and now, there's some treaties or something.
They probably realised, hold on a minute, villains are going to villain, right?
Yeah.
We can either stop them, or we can we can let the people of whatever country just get run over, essentially. So we just choose good publicity rather than bad publicity.
Yeah. That's everything I think of, which makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say, I only say that because that's the logic that Amanda Waller would use.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's like it's better to save them and get praise in the papers rather than we're going to stand there and do nothing, because that allows us then to do more other things that people don't know. Give us goodwill. And
Yeah.
PR.
Yeah.
It's
all about PR. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So they what's it called? So Eamon calls Adriana, right, while he's hiding in his stairway hideout.
Yeah.
And she's saying, "Get Adam to save me, please, right?" Then he gets grabbed up by the greasy dude. And so Black Adam's like, all right, well, she's like, please save my son, Black Adam. Not you, Justice League. She doesn't say it, but she's like, specifically to Black Adam, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's probably a reason why you Justice League, she's just not fond of at all. Because as far as her opinion goes, everything you've done is incorrect.
Yeah.
Incidentally, not purposely, but just like, everything you've done and everything you stand for just opposes everything I stand for.
Yeah, it's not helping us.
Just like our lines have been crossed so bad. Black Adam saved my son. He goes off, flies there. And yeah, I want to say Intergang got some futuristic flying bicycles,
Yeah.
flying motorbikes. Right.
That was weird.
Yeah.
But
So they do that. They fly off. Yeah, and then they do actually quite a smart tactic where they're like, all right, Black Adam's on my tail. What we're gonna do is weave some other Intergang bikes in here, and then he's got to chase like 4 of us.
Yeah.
5 of us, right? All going different routes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when the GSA come and sort of help him to try and catch these bikes. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so he's like, all right, well, what I'm gonna do. He's just ripping apart the bikes, like their hubs, to see find the kid. No, that, and then he chased some guy pretty far away into the forest somewhere.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, where's the kid? Yeah, and the guy's like, please don't kill me. And he's like, well, you got to tell me where the kid is. I don't know. And then all you see is Black Adam just throw this guy, and then Dr. Fate appears.
Yeah.
And says, he says, okay, so where's the last guy? And Black Adam says, I've dealt with him. He says, you left him alive, right? So we could interrogate him, right? Get some information from him. And you see a beat, Rock's like, I want to say he does the equivalent of raising a Rock's eyebrow, right? And then you see this guy just in the distance land as a speck, and he goes,
He didn't make it. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, all right.
Fair enough.
Even though, logically speaking, he could have super spent all the way over there and saved him, right?
Yeah. That's what I thought was going to happen, but oh no, he just let him.
But the other thing is, I think if they'd done it a little bit quicker, like as soon as he finished the line, you left him alive, right? And then he switched back to Rock and the guy landed, right?
Yeah.
That'd have been made a bit more sense because he hadn't got time to super speed over there to do it. Anyways, that was fine. Yeah. So then so they go back to the flat, right?
Yeah, where he just flies through a wall again. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dr. Fate's like, oh, so you never heard of doors in your time, right?
Yeah. He's like,
I like it. Dr. Fate is charismatic. He's not snappy, right? So some of the lines, okay, without the certain delivery that Pierce Brosnan gives them, right? It could come off snappy and sarcastic, like snappy and aggressive, right? But he delivers it in a way that is like, yeah, I'm just having a little bit of jokes in my old time.
yeah, I ain't got long left in this world. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know what? Fun times it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hawkman then flies in there with two of the Intergang soldiers. Yeah. Were they soldiers?
Yeah. Two Intergang soldiers. Yeah.
Wherever they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's basically saying, look, Black Adam, you can't go and kill people, right? And this is the reason why as well. You can interrogate them while we got their what's it called? But even then, if you're going to be a hero of the country, you cannot start dropping corpses all over the place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even though when the first thing that Hawkman did when he saw Black Adam was try to smash him with his mace with spikes.
Yeah, it's the American way. Yeah.
It's like, all right, so I can do it, right? But you can't do it.
Yeah.
And it becomes a problem when you do it, but it's not a problem when I do it. Shut up. Right? Not that it comes off like all that hypocritically.
Yeah.
You see where it's coming from at this point. It's like, look, you're from back in the day, right? Where you could just exercise lethal force, right? Whatever you want, right? I do when lethal force is necessary. Yeah. That's why that's why the boundaries we gotta have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I get. It's like fair enough. Because the thing is, Black Adam, he's got all these powers. He does not ever need to use lethal force until certain circumstances, right? But he's just using it willy-nilly. Yeah. Whereas Hawkman, he's fighting people above his weight class, where it's like, I've got to hit them as hard as I can, and I might have to hit them hard enough to kill them because I have to try and survive. Not that that's what they were going for, but it's like when you apply the logic, you're like, yeah, okay, fair enough. I can see why you would do it, right? And it's not so hypocritical.
No.
But when he does it, he shouldn't be because he doesn't never need to.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So Black Adam is like, all right, well, those soldiers are alive, yes? Let's go and interrogate them. And he just grabs them off, super speeds off.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
fly?
Yeah.
That's what he does. Grab them and goes, "Can you guys fly?" And like, just flies straight up in the atmosphere. And like, oh wow, that's.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's like, all right, so which of you boys want to talk to me? And they're like, none of us. You'll never get information out of us. All right, I guess you're gonna get dropped first, right? And he waits for Hawkman then appears, yeah. And Rock's like, well, I guess I'm gonna drop you then. Drops that guy, and then he pulls the other guy closer, saying, "Do you want to give me the information before I drop you as well?"
Yeah.
And the other guy goes, "All right," and he gives him information. I think he drops him anyway afterwards.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Hawkman saves them both. Black Adam just flies back into the thing which and says, "All right, well here's what the information we got. Interrogation, right?" Hawkman flies up, drops those two people down, and say, "What the hell were you doing?" and Black Adam's like, "I did it your way. That's what you wanted, right?" And Hawkman's like, "You could have killed them." It's like, "No, I waited for you to be there to rescue them first."
Yeah, like...
And then Hawkman's like, "I've had enough of you. I've had enough of you and your sass, and not listening to anything I say, even but listening to it and being literal about it."
Even and this part as well, because doesn't he bring the two people? Hawkman brings the two people back into the flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Black Adam kill him, if I'm correct, doesn't he?
I thought, did he kill him? I don't think he did, right?
Because them two have their fight after this, so...
Yeah, I think that's because he dropped them. He dropped them.
Yeah, but I'm thinking... I can't remember if they fought when those people were still in there, because I think he must have killed them.
No. I think it was like... It was just like Hawkman's just like, "I've had enough of your shenanigans, Black Adam. Every single time, I'm trying to tell you to do stuff. You never listen. Even though Black Adam is listening, he's just doing it in a more aggressive manner."
Yeah.
So yeah, but then again, I'm like, look, Hawkman, my mission, like, I'm supposed to be arresting you anyways, right? And they've been having their beef for a while now because first of all, I think Black Adam made a mockery of not made a mockery of him. Like I said, all these times that Hawkman gets his one-on-ones with Black Adam, he has a decent showing, right?
Yeah.
But he's just severely overpowered.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you should just tone it down, Hawkman, a little bit, because he could just flick his finger and knock you out, right? Probably.
Yeah.
Right?
End him.
Yeah. So I don't know why you're going to fight him, but
no.
But yeah, no, he gets still a decent showing in the confined area as well this time because they're fighting in the flats, which is like really weird because they got both flying abilities and stuff like that. So it was good to see in a way where it's like, even though the walls are like paper to them, right, cardboard, right?
Yeah.
They could just fly out and fight, but they're like, "Oh, right now we're going to decide to fight from the living room into the next room, which is the bedroom."
Yeah.
And he tries to punch. Black Adam tries to punch a Hawkman who dodges it or something like that, right? And then Black Adam pulls his fist out of the wall, and it's like got blue kind of.
No, he goes to punch the wall, and it bounces. His hand bounces back.
Oh yeah.
Because of the whatever that thing is.
So then they're like, Hawkman just. You would have thought, right? If this was pro wrestling, Hawkman would have taken that advantage and started hitting
low blow, kicking dick.
Yeah. Or like mace him across the face and stuff like that, right? But he does a big dirty pause, and he's like, "Okay, let me pull down this the set of drawers," and the crown's buried in the wall.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so we've got the crowns back. Adriana's like, they've got my kid. They want us to, give them the crown at this point. Oh well, no, we've got the information where they are, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to them. Let's get my kid. Yeah. And Hawkman's like, no, we got to deal with Black Adam first, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I have the crown. It's my child. This is my country. We're gonna do things my way, right? Because you guys don't know jack about anything.
Yeah.
Like, you just know what you know, right? You don't know about anything else. And they're like, all right, fair enough, because the kid's a hostage. We let's team up and get this sorted.
Yeah.
Right. And then we'll deal with each other afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
And Dr. Fate tells Hawkman, look, I've got a premonition that you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, no. He said, I've got a premonition. Yeah.
Got a premonition. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, of something, right?
Yeah.
And Hawkman's like, I'm gonna die, right? For some reason, he's like, this is when I thought, okay, they're gonna go for the reincarnation angles, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's died many a times, right, or something like that, right? Anyways, he says, you'll know when it's your time, but we can still change destiny.
Yeah.
Right? And Hoopman's like, if I die, I die.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's a bit of a weird
You know,
thing.
we can't escape our own destinies.
Yeah.
Our mission here is to rescue your kid, and if I save the kid, essentially, if I die saving the kid, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go and reach the greasy dude with this. So Black Adam just basically tries to fly in there, gets bounced off the unobtainium. I'm sorry, the what's it? Eternium force field or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yes, we made this thing to protect." Like, okay, fair enough, but how do you know that it would deflect Black Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're telling me these people like, and even if you devised it specifically to protect against Black Adam, how do you know it won't stop the rest of JSA getting in?
Yeah, you know, because he's all got like Hawkman and that who can just walk through that stuff probably.
Oh no, if you want to say it's a force field, I mean, how do you know that reacts to nth metal? You got Mystics over there as well and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Atom Smasher could punch it with his atom abilities and see what happens, you know.
Just walk over it. You know?
Yeah. Anyways, Ishmael, this greasy dude, like, I am the last living descendant of King and I want to have my rightful place on the throne with the crown of Sabak and all this stuff, and he's like basically just dumping us with kind of cutting a promo about the history of my people, blah blah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And he's like, give me the crown, like, I'll drop the force field. The woman comes in here, give me, and then I will give the son back to her, right?
Yeah.
Of course he doesn't. She gives him the crown. She's like, oh well, maybe you shouldn't have listened to me because I am scum after all. Shoot. Shoots at the kid. Black. I think what went to the force field. I think she's on the inside, right?
Yeah, she goes. Yeah, he put the force field down. So she goes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he turns it on while she's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got really weird.
Yeah, I think okay. So she turns it on while he's in. So she either, if I can't remember exactly what it is, right?
Yeah.
Either she from the inside starts knocking down tries to open the force field, or as it's closing, right? He shoots. Black Adam just flies in there.
Yeah.
To knock over to save the kid from the bullet, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen now, right? Because you tried to kill this kid, yeah? I'll blow you all up.
No, but he acts because he thinks the bullet hits the kid. That's why he doesn't control his lightning or whatever, and it does.
Yeah.
But then this bit, I just think about it now, because he shoots the kid, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to tell me he shoots at the kid. So you're trying to tell me he was able to shoot at the kid. Black Adam's traveling super speed, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's able to sort of drop the gun and put the crown on.
Well, I don't think he put it to his chest or.
No, because he put.
Well, yeah, but you also got to buy this, right? Somehow, super speed Black Adam is breaking the sound barrier. You're telling me a sonic boom wouldn't have just murdered everyone in the,
Yeah.
But anyways. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, yes, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Again, I like that whole thing, but it's like most of these, like any film, really. When you start to think about it, like, wait.
Yeah. Leave it. It's cool. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Yeah. So then, they cause the rubble. I think so. Dr. Fate and Hawkman save protect particular people.
Yeah.
Not any of the Intergang, by the way.
Nope.
They protect the kid, the JSA, and Adriana.
Yeah.
Leave Intergang to die because that's how you do.
Yeah.
Black Adam flies off, goes to the ruins. Hawkman goes over there. Basically,
wait, you missed a bit because the mum thinks that a kid got shot, and then Dr. Fate goes, "No, I saved him," and he didn't get hit by the bullet. He's hurt by, and then Black Adam goes, "It was me."
Yeah.
And
he was out of control. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when he flies off, and Hawkman follows him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Black Adam flies to the ruins where he's just looking at the statue of Tef Adam.
Yeah.
Again, and Hawkman's like, "What's up? What is this? What does this place mean to you? What's that? What is going on here?" Right? I'm actually I decided to speak to you after all the time to try to beat you up or get beat up by you. Like decided, okay, you know what? I can't beat you up. I can talk to you, right?
Yeah. Let's try something that might work. Let's talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, well, that Tef Adam, that statue is not actually me. It's the statue of my son.
Yeah.
And then so we flash back to the beginning again, where you see the dad saving your son, and the dad is Rock. I want to say Skinny Rock, but actually, when you look at it, right, he's normal size Rock.
Yeah.
As in, he's normal human size with the Rock on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Rock, but that was a bit dodgy because I think the Rock's head, because his shoulders are so big.
Yeah.
And wide, putting him on a normal person's body makes his head look bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he's too skinny his head.
No. Yeah.
But he probably looked like the size of just slimmer than Rocky Maivia Rock, right?
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, or because Rocky Maivia Rock, Flex Cavana was kind of pudgy.
Yeah.
When he lost water weight,
I'll say he's probably the size of, I want to say, realistic teenage Rock.
Yeah. Which is not small, right?
No.
But we only called him skinny. I only called him Skinny Rock because compared to Rock now,
he's skinny. Yeah.
Yeah. So it turned out the man with the shadowed face is it was the Rock, and he was saving his son from the guards way back 5,000 years ago.
When it happened, I was like, when you first see it before you get the reveal, I was like, that's the Rock.
Yeah. You could just tell, right?
Yeah. Because of his weird shaped head.
Yeah.
Him.
Well, he's got exactly.
His head's got a uniqueness to it, so you could tell from a mile away. Yeah.
Yeah. So then he's like, so, or you see the flashbacks from a bit of a different angle where the Rock is where Rock is there.
Yeah.
But you no longer see Rock as Tef Adam because he isn't Tef Adam. They fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when Tef Adam got the powers, the king's like, well, okay, well, we can't hurt Tef Adam, right? But we can hurt his family, yes? So they try to kill the Rock. They kill his mom. They kill the Rock's wife.
Yeah.
They try to kill the Rock. He's left there dying because he's all beat up, and then son walks over. Tef Adam walks over to him, and he goes, you don't have to die like this.
Yeah.
I can give you some powers. And he's like, oh, you're a great son. You can do many things, like help the people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Goes, no, I'll start the people by helping. I can help the people by start helping you because you are
my dad.
Yeah, you are one of the people, right?
Yeah, you're all my people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, so he says Shazam, and he transfers the abilities of Tef Adam to the Rock, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I know we're calling him the Rock because I can't. Did they ever give him his character name? I don't think they did.
No.
Because you're not supposed to know. He only think he's Tef Adam.
Yeah.
So they deliberately don't reveal his name.
No.
Gives the ability to Rock. Rock stands up, all super Rock buff. As he's like, all right, okay, cool. And the son's shrunk back down to normal, like she's 13-year-old self.
Yeah.
Gets an arrow through his chest right away.
Yeah, so harsh. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he gets another couple of arrows. Rock's like, what? Where? What? He sees them people shooting the arrows. Right, the son's dying. He just goes and murders those people.
Yeah.
And I think he flies into space.
He flies up, and that's when because when you first see him, he's like wearing like these white sort of like a white towel around loincloth, and like gold bits and that gold arrow, and then he flies up angrily, and then that's when he becomes wearing all the black. You're like, oh, okay.
Somehow he just magically manifests a black suit about him.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All
cool.
right.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go and kill this king because he killed my family. I'm gonna get him. Good.
Yeah.
Which he does, right?
Yeah.
Which that part of the history is correct. Yeah.
Except for
But
the bit where he
Go on.
actually nearly kills more people than he's meant to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's all full of rage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. And then the wizards of the council of wizards at the Rock of Eternity is like, well, this guy's out of control.
Yeah.
We're gonna banish him. So they call him like they just basically warp him to Rock of Eternity, and the wizards start blasting him.
Yeah.
Which it seems to be the theme, by the way, in this movie. Is like no one talks to the Rock. They all just start trying to fight him.
Yeah.
So he kills it. He just blasts back 6 of them, and then the wizard Shazam.
Yeah.
Managed to lock the Rock away for what in the Rock of Eternity.
Yeah.
For the next 5,000 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, fair enough. By the way, I don't know if you remember it, but there's a clip in Shazam where they're talking about how the last champion chosen, which was Black Adam,
Yeah.
was full of revenge.
Yeah.
Which this is correct. And then he unleashed the 7
deadly
sins, which then caused collapse of civilizations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay, I don't see the 7 deadly sins as part of this, right?
Yeah.
As but I could buy that the king was influenced by the 7 deadly sins, whether you want to say on screen or off screen, right? Right. But that's why he was trying to make the crowns to back, right? Because there's elements of like this greed and laziness, all that stuff. That's why causing him to want to get that power. Right?
Yeah.
So you could say that, like, if you want to tweak it in there, it's not impossible that 7 deadly sins were just whispering in his ear, ooh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
Even though it's not blatant, right? And then, so, I would say, I would say the 7 deadly sins influenced the king somewhat to get the crown of Sabak made by Eternium.
Yeah.
Because greedy kings gonna do
greed's gonna greed.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'd be like, all right, well, maybe they're in the palace somewhere or something like that, right? And then when the Rock destroyed the palace, he unleashed them.
Yeah, makes sense.
Even though he doesn't say that he did, but he doesn't say he didn't. But if you want to work it, if you want to make continuity work, of course, with Shazam, it's viable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's banished for 5,000 years, and he's like, so the reason he's looking at the statue of Tef Adam, makes a lot more sense. It's like, I'm not admiring myself, or I'm not admiring like what the country's built for me, or like around me, or what the symbol has become. It's just like my son did all that.
Yeah.
And what have I done? You know, what have I done? I his legacy essentially.
Yeah. I go fulfill his legacy.
Yeah, I'm the guy kind of accidentally tearing it down.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, fair enough. Hulkman's like, okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Kind of get it. But at the same time, there's rules and regulations that you need to do to take place if you want to be like a legacy hero, essentially.
Yeah. If you want to, like, keep your son's like legacy,
Yeah.
Gotta stop being a dick. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no. Not necessarily that. It's just like, you can't murder willy-nilly. That's the main here, right? You got all the power, right? But you can't be the problem.
Yeah,
you have to be part of the solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, all right, well, maybe I am the problem, and maybe they're right to banish me. I will say the words like that you want me to say, and you got to when you imprison me, you got to make sure I never say these words again. So he says Shazam, turns into a normal sized Rock, not even normal sized Rock, normal human size, right?
Yeah, normal human size, face, head superposed on person Rock. Yeah.
The JSA take him away. He gets put in the aqueduct chambers of suspended animation that Amanda Waller has somewhere in wherever
Yeah.
And
one of the Task Force X black sites. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, there's tons of these chambers though. So who else is in these chambers?
Yeah, that's all I'd like to know who that is. Yeah.
Underwater prison, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then Dr. Fate still gets his premonition of Hawkman dying, even though you never see who kills Hawkman. So I guess they suspect it was Black Adam's doing it. And Hawkman's like, well, no, we dealt with Black Adam, right? He ain't gonna kill me. We don't worry about that.
Also, we've got to mention that we also see a cameo from Hardcastle from Peacemaker. Yep.
Oh yes.
Connection.
She's like, she just walks over, all badass, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yep, we'll take him off your hands now. Cool. And they're like, thumbs up. And she's like, "Yeah, all right, cool. Get away." Yeah. So the JSA are flying back with the corpse of Greasy Dude, holding the crown, and apparently, so the thing was saying life is the only way to death, right?
Yeah.
Except that when Cyclone's in there with Adriana just checking the relics, right?
Yeah.
They're like, hold on a second, something's a bit. Why was he repeating that line before he killed him, right? Why was he saying the other way around? Why is he saying death is the only way to life? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right. So they flip. They have a look at the crown. Then they're like, oh, wait a minute, is it red upside down? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have a look at the 3D image of the crown, right?
Yeah.
They read it upside down and it's like, oh no, right? Because it is red upside down, right?
Yeah.
You die to get empowered. So the dude holding the crown, the grease guy holding the crown, he's like, somehow his body's in hell. I want to say hell, the hell dimension, wherever they want to be.
Yeah.
Something that looks like hell, yeah?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, empower with the powers of, give me the powers. I'll take over the country for like my ancestors and stuff like that. Yeah? We'll serve you. And they're like, yep, exactly what we wanted all this time. The 5,000 years been waiting. So here you go, boy. Here you go.
Yeah. Just say our name.
Dude, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says Sabak gets the anti-Shazam powers, gets buffed up somehow, right? CG body, right?
Yeah.
Which if it was in a suit, fine. Right,
Mm.
Like a muscle suit or something like that, yeah. Because I start with a layer over it, right? But what he looks like is the Ang Lee Hulk, because his muscles are too smooth.
I actually didn't mind it.
Yeah,
because
I just thought it looked a bit. It's just because, right? And he has a carved pentagram in his body, by the way.
Yeah.
But what I think it was because his face is so detailed because they CG like they get his face and CG on it.
Hmm.
And then the rest of him is plain, not like with protrusions or something like that. There's no texture on it, if you know what I mean. So it kind of stands out a bit more than it should. Like when you have standard superhero costumes, yeah, you're just coloring over anatomy,
yeah.
So it's all fine, right? Even when we say somehow when you're Batman, right, and you're wearing armor, somehow you can see your six pack through the armor, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Here, like, okay, so his arms just look a bit too smooth compared to the rest of the detail on the character, but that's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
I just thought it was odd that how it stood out. So they're like, okay, now he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go back to Kandak. Right, you're gonna teleport me back to Kandak, and what I'm gonna do is sit on the crown and sit on the throne and just take over.
Yeah. Ritual complete. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then the JSA be like, the JSA get the signal, and they're like, all right, well, we've got to go back there to fight this guy, right? Yeah. So they don't do a bad job either, right?
No.
They put up a decent fight. So hold on, I skipped a bit, but they have their fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the JSA are just getting like, they put up a decent fight, but they get buried in, or like he gets away.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, barely standing up and stuff like that. And then Dr. Fate's like, look, Hulkman, you got to stop this, right? And Hulkman's like, no, you guys, get Black Adam back, right? And we could take this guy right now. No, and you guys can take this guy right now. I have to go in there to try and stop him. I'll buy you some time. So he goes in there, buys loans. He tried to go buy lonesome. Dr. Fate casts a spell, blocking the force field around the palace.
Yeah.
And then he teleports himself on the inside, and while the JSA on the outside, he goes, "Talk, man. Sorry, man. I can change your fate. I can change your destiny. I'll deal with it."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No," because that's how you do, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't want to say logically, yeah, but it's like, okay, so you know Hawkman's gonna die-ish, right? So you can have Cyclone and Atom Smash in there with you, and you know they're safe to a certain degree, right? But I guess he's like, well, look, they're newbies as well, so they could actually cause more trouble for me trying to save them rather than me just dealing with them with all the powers that I got.
Yeah.
Which okay, fair enough. And I like how Dr. Fate uses his abilities to fight and indirectly cool. And sometimes directly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he can't do the job. But as he's spellcasting, he's contacting Black Adam in his chamber. Says, "Black Adam, I need your help. Come save me."
Not save me, come save the world. Because by the time you get there, be dead. But yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, I need your help right now, right? Yeah, don't come save me, but of course, yeah. Because if he sits on the throne, he's gonna call the undead, and then they're gonna take over Kandak and ruin everything, right?
Yeah.
Ruin the world, not ruin everything.
Yeah.
Black Adam. Here you go, Black Adam. I'm gonna create a little chip in your chamber, and then
you can get out.
So then, the water, Black Adam. The Rock. Yeah, the chamber blows open. The rocks come out there. All of Argus or whatever, Amanda Wallace seems like immediately when they see this guy coming out of the chamber, they're gonna be like, "Oh, let's help him," or whatever.
Yeah, just beat him. Yeah.
yeah. Just beat him and shoot him. Exactly. I mean, no. Not that he has Black Adam abilities or whatever, right? I mean, maybe we've got to stop him saying it because he's got that thing over his mouth, right?
Yeah.
But no. First thing we're gonna do is just start beating him and give him a reason to try and kill us. Shut up, you idiots!
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's fighting them off pretty well, considering he hasn't been doing anything for 5,000 years. But I guess for him, it's not 5,000 years though. It's like a straight teleport.
Yeah.
Even though he's in a weakened state previous to that, because when he's been digging around for the I keep on thinking it's unobtainium.
Eternium. Yep.
Yeah. What's he been eating? But whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's dealing with that. They try shooting him. He gets hit about a couple of times. He jumps out through the. So nowadays, I guess when you're making an underwater chamber, you don't use doors or nothing like that. You use a force field, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
No submarine or nothing like that.
No.
Yeah.
One way.
Anyway, he dives through that. He pulls the thing out of his mouth. And he's kind of dying, but not.
Yeah.
Right. And just basically floating to the surface.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dr. Fate is still fighting Sabak.
Yeah.
And the JSA are still outside trying to smack down the force field.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Sabak kills Dr. Fate, sits on the throne.
Yeah, he punches Dr. Fate through the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
JSA come in there just in time to see Dr. Fate get shanked, right?
I think he gets shanked, and then the force field drops, and then they get up in time to see him to just say, "Bye, my friends," and then disintegrates into.
yeah. Well, the helmet drops, yeah.
Yeah.
and then Sabak's like this crappy helmet, jabroni helmet.
Yeah, kicks it aside.
And he kicks, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he sits on the throne, and then all the skeleton rises from
the grave.
Yeah, which I was like, all right. When I was watching the movie, I was like, okay. But at the same time, I was like, so if it's about Intergang, yeah, wouldn't it make more sense if they were the skeletons of the people that were part of Intergang? Because this guy was part of Intergang as well. He just got a power to the back, right? And the fight is against Intergang as well. Like the people oppressed by Intergang. It would have just made a bit more logical, like narrative follow up.
But then there wouldn't be enough, really, would it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I get what you
It's just
mean. Yeah.
A bit weird that just random skeletons appear out of
It's
But anyway,
some of the underworlds. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah.
But then the people are like, all right, well, so they're like, okay, we're gonna fight back against the skeletons.
Yes.
We need to band together as the people, right? Because
Yeah.
the underworld's whatever, right?
Hmm.
Like the kids runs up, does the DDP sign back in the market again, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, come on, we gotta.
This bit's funny though because like he's not even shouting. He's talking really soft, like, "Come on, people, we can do this together." And like you're in a market and like this goes like feet weight back, meters back. I don't think people in the back are gonna hear you. You're talking like, "Yeah, come on, guys, we're gonna."
Yeah,
do
so
it."
he raises the triangle, and then people are like, yeah. Just like in Spider-Man, right? When they threw the thing at the Green Goblin.
Yeah. You go with Spidey, you go against all of New York. Yeah.
You fight one of us, you fight all of us.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. Yeah. So they get all their pieces of rubble or whatever and starts fighting the skeletons from the underworld, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Black Adam, Shazam. he gets powered up and he just smashes his way through to Sabak.
Yeah.
Right. And when you see Black Adam, he's got the lightning bolt, he's got his costume, right? And you know when he first appeared, he had that black tattered hood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good look for him. It made sense, right?
Yes.
Here's like more gold, like everything's not completely black, right? It's got gold wristbands and stuff like that.
Gold boots. It was more comic accurate.
Yeah. But it was obviously it signified a change in the character as well.
Yeah.
Because now, like, I'm the hero of the people, gonna look like it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's fighting back with Hawkman, right? And the JSA, and Hawkman gets shanked, but he does also not because it was just an illusion because Hawkman's using the Dr. Fate helmet.
Yeah.
And then he uses the duplication powers to pile onto Sabak, and then the Rock, Black Adam grabs the horns of Sabak. They fly up to space, and he's like, so 3 times he tried to deliver the line, tell him the man in black sent you. Right?
Yeah.
The first time he killed the guys and said it afterwards, right?
Yeah.
What was the second time he did it? He knocked up.
When he grabs one of the speeder guys and he's flying super fast and he goes, try to turn the man in black, and then he gets hit by a bus. You're like, oh wow.
Yeah. And then so his time he's grabbing the horns and he rips. He whispers in Sabak's head to his ears, "Tell him the man in black saying," and then he rips him in half. And I was like, ooh, yeah.
Because he flies up to space because he was about to get overwhelmed by the power again, and Hawkman, when he's done all the multiple things, like, you can do this, you can control it, and he's like, you know what, you're right, but I'm gonna be on the safe side and take you into space.
Yeah. And then so he climbs, he flies back down and he says, "Sorry about Dr. The Dr. Fate, whatever, right?" And Hawkman's like, "Oh no, it's he saved us, it's all good." And then when he picks up the helmet, like it disappears and goes, the helmet of fate chooses its whoever it's go to. So I'm sure it'll be in good hands. And then he's basically saying, "Look, you can be the protective cadet, just don't murder people and stuff like that, right?" Yeah, I mean, sure. If you stay in your country, we'll kind of leave you alone as long as you leave the rest of us, the world, alone, right? No, I can't beat you, but you can be content. You have to contain yourself, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, fair enough." And then like, what? So if you're not Tef Adam, right? And you, but you need a superior name. What is it? What do we call you? And then The Rock smirks, and then it cuts the credits. Black Adam. Right, fair enough. That's how he gets his name.
Yeah, okay, cool. Makes sense.
And then mid credits, so Rock's sitting kind of like in the rubble of the palace.
Yeah.
In the dark, Amanda Waller just flies a drone in there. It comes up with a hologram and says, "Yo, Adam, we know where you are, you know where we are, right? But you can't. You if you stay here, cool. We're all cool about that, yeah. And then he's basically saying, well, if I do what I want, you can't stop me anyways, right?
Yeah.
You got no one on earth that can stop me. And then she says, well, I've got some people from
I could call in a
other
favor.
Earth.
Maybe I can get the people I
Yeah.
send after you are not from Earth.
Yeah. And then a Kate's figure lands, steps forward in, the silhouette comes a bit closer to
Yeah.
the light, and you see the blue costume, the red S, and then Henry Cavill's face, and it's Superman.
Yeah.
And then the Superman theme, the classic 1978 Superman theme plays. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, and also
nice.
goes,
And he's like, okay, well, Black Adam,
I think we need to talk. Yeah.
yeah. Last time, someone made all this noise. It was, like other times they was talking about someone who's causing all sorts of not necessarily panic, but I can't remember the exact line he was saying. What did he say?
I can't remember. Oh, what was it?
Yeah,
It's been a long time.
but
Something I can't remember.
yeah, it's a long time since. Yeah. Anyways, and he's like, "Oh, we should talk."
Yeah. And then
And I was like, "Okay,
credits again.
yeah." Now, I don't have a problem with the Henry Cavill cameo and all that. The problem I have is like they shouldn't be playing the 1978 classics with John Williams Superman score because that's not his theme.
To me, it doesn't really care.
Well, no, I would like if they played a couple of notes from the Hans Zimmer theme. It makes sense. I only say, sorry.
I'll say with that though,
Yeah.
I don't think it would people recognize it as much as the.
But the other issue is he's not that character from the 1978 Superman.
Yeah, but at this point.
So that's not. I know people associate our theme song with Superman, but that's kind of not. It's not his character theme, so you shouldn't be playing it.
Well, they own it, so they could do really what want.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
true.
really make a
As far as
difference, really.
Yeah, as far as continuity for someone like me, it's just like he's got his own Superman theme. Why didn't you play that? Yeah.
'Cause
Anyways,
it's like, for example, it's how I say it. Say, wrestling. Say you did a big comeback here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's Hulk Hogan. Which theme
Yeah.
are you gonna do his comeback with? You're gonna do it with "I'm a Real American," or you're gonna do it with his TNA music? You're gonna go with the one that
hold on, for him though, you got Voodoo Child as well.
Yeah,
and you got
yeah.
Born and Raised in the USA.
yeah. Well, actually, no. Better example.
American Made. Sorry.
A better example, actually, is a better example. Edge.
Yeah.
All right. If you're gonna bring back Edge, you're gonna go with Metalingus, ain't you? Right.
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
go back with his first. You think you know me?
Yeah,
you
but
think. But
yeah, but no. What I'm saying is, but he's still Edge, the character Edge.
yeah,
He's
but this
not-
is still.
he's-
Superman is like, I get you mean continuity, whatever, but Superman to people doesn't really make a difference which Superman it is.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. As far as like, okay, so if it was the Brandon Routh Superman from Kingdom Come, that's kind because he's a continuation of the Reed Superman. Fair enough.
Not Kingdom Come, but wait. Superman Returns, yes. Kingdom Comes, Brandon Routh Superman, no.
Well, kind of yes, kind of no, right? They in the Crisis on Infinite Earths they played that theme for him as well.
Yeah, but even technically
Yeah.
that's wrong as well then, because it's not exactly a continuation.
No,
Because he has different
because
S and everything.
He says, I know. Okay, he says within that, right, in the Crisis that he has a son as well, so it could still be a continuation of that, right? But what I'm saying is that section of Superman, that section of Superman's more of that theme. You've got your own Hans Zimmer theme. I would have preferred you use that only because it's a good theme as well, actually.
Yeah, it is.
When it was played when Superman made his appearance back in when he was going to make a mockery of Steppenwolf, and they were playing the Superman theme, that really worked actually.
Yeah, it did.
Not the classic Superman theme, the Hans Zimmer Superman theme, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I enjoyed this film.
Yeah, it's good.
I thought though, I told you about the history of the Black Adam, right?
Yeah.
I said we'll just quickly run back to that, but so the Wizards banished it the first time around, way back in the 50s, 40s when he's made his first appearance, right?
Yeah.
He got banished into space, right? And it took him 2,000 years to fly back to Earth. Yeah. And they're like, and then, well, basically he's like, right. So when he had this tussle with Captain Marvel, and then the Wizard's like, yo, Black Adam, you stop that, right? Because what's going to happen is, if you don't say the words, right, if you're going to continue all this menace, right, we're going to send you back to space for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, and he says Shazam, and then he basically crumbles to dust because he turns back to his human form.
Yeah.
And his human forms are basically, died 8 years ago, and so that's that one.
Yeah.
I think the more recent Jeff Johns one, the kid got the Black Adam powers.
Yeah.
And then what happened was he gave some of the powers to his dad.
Whose nephew? No, his nephew. He was because I remember watching this recently the other day. It wasn't. Yeah. He was the nephew of. Well, the uncle of the kid who got Black Adam power, and then
Then basically the kid's like, we can use this powers to help people, right? And he's like, they've taken everything away from me. I want to get revenge. And he goes, no, we don't have to go that way. Look, we can be hopeful for a better future and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then uncle's like, okay, he's tearfully, he's like, all right. And he goes, look, you got half the powers, I got half the powers. We they can't stop us together, right?
Yeah.
And so when they say so just before, okay, first we'll say the magic words together, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, so the guy says Shazam, and covers the nephew's mouth and breaks his neck.
Yeah. You're like,
I'm like, wow. Yeah.
A bit mean.
Yeah. But that's like, so I can see why they had to tone like that version. If they're going to go, that's a dark version of Black Adam. You can't, when you're like that, you're like, I don't know how much would you have to adjust the storyline to make him sympathetic after doing that,
Yeah.
But yeah. So you're saying double thumbs up? Or single thumbs up? What are you saying? Thumbs up and a half? I would say
if I didn't like the film. Like I said, they took I get they took some creative liberties with the character because we all know realistically he's not as strong as Superman. Come on, but how they've kind of played it in this as he is, and I kind of think that's to do with The Rock being involved with it. That's why they've made it this way. That's my personal opinion. No.
I think Captain Marvel, Shazam, has always been played relatively equal to Superman in abilities, right? And what they always say is Superman is invincible, but he's got certain weaknesses like magic and kryptonite, right? It's not weakness to magic though. He's not invulnerable. He's invulnerable to all sorts, right? He's just not invulnerable to magic. So magic affects him as much as it would affect the normal average person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he's fighting against a magical being, a person empowered by magic, he's taking the same amount of hits. If he gets hit by a magical item though, he's going to hurt him harder because he's Superman. He's not going to expect the hit to be that have that oomph behind it.
Yeah, but again, how they've played Superman in their universe in the films, dude, he killed Steppenwolf, an alien god, just like that.
He killed Zod, someone equal power to him, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, not being bad, in the Black Adam film, what did Black Adam actually do to prove that he's that level?
Oh, it's true. But then at the same time as well, I mean, here's the thing, right? And you're right to a degree. He hasn't really fought anyone relative to his own power, so we can't say definitively he is or isn't. That's the way I'm going to look at it.
Yeah,
we'll have to see. Though he can flex, right? He can flex, and he's showing that I got the ability to flex.
Yeah.
But until he actually fights someone that's super powered, right?
Yeah.
Then we won't know.
Yeah, he fought a JSA or JS or whatever it is. Not being bad, I like the JSA, but they're like chumps compared to the Justice
power level wise, right?
Yeah,
power level wise.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, I don't know, it's ego. The Black Adam's nothing in this world sort of stopped me. Dude, man.
Oh no, but I will say that is ego because as far as he knows, right, at this point in time, for the past 5,000 years, he didn't know that history. All he knows at the time that he was around, nothing could hurt him.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back to deal with these jabronis, nothing's
changed.
particularly. Yeah, exactly.
But,
so, yeah. So what you can say is whether it's not ego or arrogance. It's just like as far as he's concerned at the moment in time where he's facing all these people. He's the most powerful being on the planet. You know?
Yeah.
He hasn't encountered the other ones. So fair enough.
But like also I'll say promotional wise and stuff when it's promoting this film, like even Rock's like, he's the powerful person in the DC universe. Nah, dude. Just, no. Superman.
At this point though, at this point before as you're promoting it, were we saying that Superman still exists in this universe or not? Because
even so, like say he's not, but then the film kind of proves that he does. So it's like
exactly. But I guess The Rock couldn't say he's the Black Adam's most powerful person in this universe, except for Superman. Except that we don't know if Superman's here or not. So kind of like
even though they would have known at this point because this film was filmed like nearly a year ago.
Look. Okay, what I say is partially he's showboating and promoting, right? Partially he's got a secret that he can keep that he can't say at the time, and partially he's like, well, I've got to hype the film, and people want to see this, like, my character kicks some ass. I gotta say what I gotta say.
Yeah, and also another little thing I kind of have with the marketing of the film, how they're trying to go on like he's like a super bad, like he's a bad guy, like he's not really a bad guy.
No. He's more of he's a tweener that he started off as a tweener. No, well, I think he started off as a deep, almost hero, like anti-hero tweener, right?
Yeah.
And then he shifted to kind of the side of the good, but with an edge.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
Not my Black Adam. Joking. No, I'm joking.
I like the characterization. I like some of the jokes. The costume looks good. It looks like a big budget blockbuster film,
man,
and it moves like one as well.
Yeah,
like an action film.
Yeah. Even though I hope we actually do get Black Adam and Shazam. I'm not really bothered about seeing Superman and Black Adam. Not really bothered about that. Yeah. Or obviously,
There's only two ways, by the way, if they're going to see Superman versus Black Adam. There's only two ways that end scene can go, really, Superman says to him, last time, someone made so much ruckus, essentially it was me, right? Because the planet, then Black Adam's like tried to be the alpha and punched him in the face and sends him flying, and then they came to a fight, right? Or they shake hands and have a civil discussion, in which case they don't have a fight. So,
Yeah. I want to see Shazam. Do you reckon that Shazam and the Fury of the... Is it Fury of the Gods?
Yeah.
You reckon there could be some weird hint... Not a weird hint. There'll be like some reference to Black Adam, right?
Oh, I think there should be. I just want to say, in the middle of him fighting them gods, right? Superman and Black Adam also fighting. And then they would be like, all right, let's make it a triple threat match. Yeah. Even though it would be like him fighting the other kids as well. And so... when they all turn back into and then Rock says, "Hold on a second, let's put us all in the equal playing field. Let's all say the words. You turn into kids, I'll turn into Tep Adam, and I'll fight you man on man, man on kids."
The kids will win though. They'll overpower him. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, you're the best.
But but I'll say, look, double thumbs up. There might be some like things that you have to. Mind like less attention to, right? But as far as entertainment goes, I would watch it again.
I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again. Enjoyed.
So go on.
Wouldn't say it's would I say it's the best DCEU film?
Well,
probably not.
Look, you don't have a deep story, right?
No.
But there are some beats where you're like, this is not just a pure action film with no heart to it, right?
Yeah.
There are bits where you're like, okay, surprisingly, this meant this was this and this was that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd say, I don't know if you do Aquaman numbers, but it's relative to that in the entertainment sense.
Yeah, because
I'd probably say it's a better story than Aquaman, though.
I don't know, though, because I think Aquaman had kind of like more of a sort of family dynamic sort of story, so there's like more depth to it. This is not really that much.
Well, I think they didn't need to do a lot with the Black Adam character, but it's all the people surrounding him that were that had the vulnerabilities, because you can only threaten a guy who's invulnerable so much, right?
But then that's why, like, to me, the story isn't that great.
Yeah,
because like it's what sort of there's no urgency to his character or like danger really. Then if that's the case,
and then I think that same issue they had with certain like other characters, like Superman or something like that.
Yeah,
you know.
But even Superman, he had like human family members, so they kind of.
Oh no! In Man of Steel, all he did was have Lois, who kept on conveniently get endangered, right? And and then Martha Kent that one time. Everyone else be like, you hide away, or you go into there, keep safe. Oh, you random family, maybe you get laser beamed and have to break Zod's neck. But other than that,
But like, he still has like some human qualities to him.
Yeah.
There's nothing really, like, say those humans, like Amon and his mum died.
Yeah.
What real effect does it have on Black Adam? Nothing really.
Well, he'll probably rage out. He'll probably rage out because they're like, "Oh, this kid reminds me of my kid when he."
But then that's kind of forced. Like that relationship, you've known this kid for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But still.
Yeah. All right. Other than those.
Other than that,
I mean, because I guess you know when you watch. Okay, so we liked Doctor Strange: The Madness of the Multiverse, right?
Yeah.
But if you watch it again, you probably start thinking, "Hold on a minute."
Yeah.
Because you get caught up in the film itself after you watched it, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, Doctor Strange. There was some bits that are kind of a bit, but it is good. It's a good watch. It just be like, okay.
Yeah.
More questions.
Yeah. That makes
sense.
Yeah.
I would have to say this is not exactly a switch off your brain and watch action film, but it delivers exactly what it's meant to deliver.
Yeah.
And it makes. I know it's hard to say sometimes. Oh, the story doesn't make sense, but it's what I have to say. I've seen enough things where story doesn't even make sense. The characters aren't even consistent to say. Actually, you know what? Everything wraps up in a roundabout way that you're like, all right, I see why people like this particular character, this or that or the other. You know?
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah. All right, that'll be us signing off for this episode.
Yes, this very long, in-depth episode on Black Adam and the World of Tomorrow.
I'm the man who tries to mace Black Adam, not with a spray, but with the actual physical mace with spikes on it. See why, John?
And I am the greasy, evil-looking guy who you don't realize is evil, even though you could tell was evil from the beginning because he had a gun. Kyle Charles. That's Ishmael, by the way. Ishmael Gregor. Yeah.
The descendant of 5,000 years of family ancestors to get to the point where you have to take over Kandak.
Yeah, even I'm pretty sure by that point the bloodline would be thinned out. But whatever, sure.
Yeah.
Unless there's lots of interbreeding. But anyway, thank you for listening to us talk about Black Adam. Have you seen it yet? What did you think of it? Do you like this interpretation of Adam Tef? The slightly watered down, more relatable version, I would say.
Kind of, yeah. I think it's more angled to be get the audience on his side.
Yeah.
Because realistically, like when I'm reading Black Adam in the comics, right, and Namor as well to a degree, they're a lot like old school Vegeta.
Yeah.
Come in there, do what they need to do, and just shrug when things happen that affect other people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so let us know all that stuff. So leave a comment, leave us an email, a tweet, an Instagram message, all that lovely stuff. And yes, and once again, share this with your friends as well. And once again, thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.